Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening.
Testing.
Testing. Yeah, right. So good evening and welcome to the Town of Milton Board of Selectmen's meeting, November 6th. And if I could have everybody stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thanks everyone for coming this evening. It's a big crowd. So first we have up for acknowledgements our birthdays. We have Vanessa Segan, she's our bookkeeper. We have Alexander Wood, she's in the fire. Johanna Howland in the library, and Sean Donald, she's at the highway department. And I want to thank each and every one of those folks for the services to the town of Milton. It does not go unseen for all their hard work. Unfortunately, on the other side, we do have deaths. We have our very own, unfortunately, Leo Lassard. Leo Lassard worked for the Stratford County Commissioner for many years, the Register of Deeds. He was a selectman in town. He was on the Budget Committee, the ZBA, and the Conservation. Leo will be sorely missed. He was a very, very kind man, and there is some serious big shoes to fill. So again, I'm sorry to have to relay that. But then we have Arthur Downs. He was on the Milton Fire Department for, he was a captain, served on the Milton Fire Department for many years. And we have Catherine Lavoie, who lived in town. So if we could just all bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Thank you so much. So up next, we have under old business, we have a discussion on the sale of the town property that we've been talking about. So where are you at, Ryan? I kind of know where I'm at with this. I personally would like to. I'd like to put this. I'd like to put this property up for a sealed bid, like we did the fire station. I don't think we should put a.
So I thought we discussed that, and we were going to have the assessing department take a look.
They did do their work.
So I don't have it on mine.
You don't have.
It was
No.
in your it was in your book, the slot we put.
It was in there separate as well.
No, it was it was in your mailbox, but.
All right.
Do you want to look at this? I mean, I've been out to the property. It's in the building. The building itself is in really poor condition. I just don't think it's sitting there does the town any good. You know.
I mean, this is just a tax card, right?
Yeah, that's
the assessing department to go out and take a look and see what
They
they
did.
thought it was worth.
They
They
did.
did.
That's they updated the
So
tax
this is
card.
the updated one. Okay.
Yeah. So I just think that it'd be nice to just, you know, get you know, we talked to the attorney already. He said, you know, it's, however, I just think that,
Said we need a motion
Putting
to
every-
go forward.
yeah, I think just, if we just did putting a reserve bid on it, looking at the building, I wouldn't even want to put a reserve bid on it. I just would, you know, put it out there for sealed bids like we did the fire department, and see what we can get for it, and whatever we get is great, and then we can get back on the tax roll.
I mean, just my only concern with doing that without going through an actual auction company is we're going to be the only people advertising it. mind if
Yeah.
there isn't enough interest in it, we could end up.
Well, I think there's quite a bit of interest in it just here in town. I mean,
That's my only concern, if you end up.
yeah. I just think that if you go through an auction company, you're spending.
I'm not saying necessarily go through an auction company, but if we are going to put it up for silent bid or however we're going to go forward, I just think that we should, I mean, set some sort of reserve and do it reasonably so we don't end up letting the property go for $3,000. Not that it probably won't happen, but just to be for the best interest of the town.
Okay, so what I think we should do is then go into a non-public after the meeting,
Okay.
and we can, if you like, we can talk about that. Okay. All right, so we'll go into non-public after. So up next, and I want to thank Danielle for all her hard work on putting these agendas together. She's doing a great job. I just want to throw that out there. So up next, we have under new business is the employee promotion for the Milton NH. So the floor is yours, Chief.
Thank you. Tonight we get the privilege of showing the advancements our officers have made over the past few years. We've had a few officers receive awards, a couple officers who have, an officer who has received a certification in DARE. We also have a new employee for both the police and fire department that is going to be able to help the town, and I'd like to introduce them all to you. We also have two officers who are going to receive promotions tonight. First, I'll start with Officer Nurjanakis. You can just come up here. October 6th, Officer Nurjanakis graduated from the DARE Academy here in New Hampshire. It's a 2-week course. It's a very, very stringent course where he has to do a whole lot of work on his own time. He has to learn how to do lesson plans, and he gets the privilege of learning how to deal with and teach elementary school students as well as some middle school and high school students when he gets to work with them. He is the 6th DARE officer we've had here in town. Maureen Steer was the first one I can remember. I think she was the first one in town when she was a state trooper.
A couple other troopers were from.
Was there? As much as I can remember, you were the first one. So. It is a privilege to have another DARE officer. Having the DARE officer in our school gives our officers the ability to have someone they can meet on a personal basis and also someone that they can build a bond with. It allows the children of our community to have an officer that they'll feel comfortable with talking to if there is ever an emergency where they need someone to go to. So I would like to congratulate Officer.
I just want to say one thing. I couldn't have done this without Maureen Steer. She was instrumental from the beginning. She eased my nerves, my anxiety. I'm not the best of students, or at least I don't think I was, and she made me feel comfortable and was always there, and I just want to say thank you, and I think she deserves a round of applause.
On October 13th, Officer Leahy was given the award by the New Hampshire Congressional Delegation for the Citation Award for his actions during a pursuit that occurred in January that came through Milton. The pursuit started in many communities away. It was in Biddeford, Maine, Sanford, Maine. It was also in Dover and involved New Hampshire State Police. Officer Leahy assisted by setting up a spike strip with former Officer Reed. They spiked the vehicle up on the Spalding Turnpike, then involved in the pursuit that continued onto Townhouse Road. Officer Leahy and Officer Reed, once the vehicle stopped on Townhouse Road, went to the vehicle, rescued the small child and the dog that was in the vehicle, while the other officer pursued the suspect out onto the ice. Officer Leahy then assisted as the officers were removing everyone from the ice as well as the suspect. So I want to congratulate Officer Leahy. So now I have the privilege with Chief Murray to introduce everyone to our chaplain. Maureen has been in this community your whole life, pretty much. Your grandmother's name is on the front of the building. So Maureen was in the military. She was then a police officer for the city of Rochester and then New Hampshire State Police. Many of you may know her through that position, or many of you may have had children in the schools when she was their DARE officer here in town. Maureen retired 3 years ago.
March 1st, 2015.
There you go. From 25 plus years in law enforcement, she is getting her seminary certificate and hopefully will be nationally certified by the end of the year.
And ordained.
And ordained by the end of the year. She is a chaplain position that the chief and I had talked about for a while. It is a position that is much needed here in town. Our officers deal with a whole lot of things that no one should see or have to deal with, so do our firefighters. And with the growing trend of officers, unfortunately, as well as firefighters, having PTSD when we finish our careers or as we move through our careers, it's a benefit for them to have someone to talk to. They can sit down, have a conversation. She does 4 hours a week, either at the fire department or the police department. It gives our people the ability to talk to someone they trust and they know has some insight into the career. She's also going to be coming with us when we have to do death notifications, when we have a really bad crash and we have family members who need someone to talk to other than someone in a uniform or a firefighter. We have other tasks that we're trying to do, so unfortunately we can't be as touchy-feely as some people may need us to be. Maureen's that soft shoulder that they can sit down and talk to, but she's also aware of the dangers of coming to calls when it involves law enforcement and when it involves the firefighting. So she'll be a huge benefit to our community. If you guys see her out and about, please introduce yourself and get to know her, and thank you. Welcome aboard. So the first promotion of the night, if Officer Hebert can come up with me. So Officer Hebert's been with us for a while. He left for a little bit, but then he liked it so much here, he came back. And we are very proud that he did come back.
Chief, Andy wants a closer.
Oh, I'm sorry, so the camera can see. Gotcha.
Officer Hebert is one of our firearms instructors. He is also currently one of our members for the Stratford County Regional Tactical Team. He is also the driving instructor for the police department. I am very proud to be able to promote Officer Hebert to Sergeant. Here's your opportunity to stab him with something. I'll take that one back.
There we go.
And you just please raise your right hand and say everything that's right. I do. I, Thomas.
I, Thomas Hebert,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
all
all duties incumbent on me
duties incumbent upon me
as a sergeant
as a sergeant
of the town of Milton,
of the town of
New
Milton,
Hampshire,
New Hampshire,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeable to the rules and the regulations of the Constitution
agreeable to the rules and the regulations of the Constitution
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire. Thank you, sir.
So the second promotion, Sergeant Favorite, could you come up here soon? Sergeant Favorite and I have worked here for many years together. I think we're going on, what, 13 together?
Yeah.
13 years together. How he still has hair working with me is a question. Sergeant Favorite is our firearms instructor, our defensive tactics instructor, and he also was recently promoted to assistant commander for the Stratford County Tactical Team. That is a huge role, and to have it here in the small town of Milton, to have an officer who is in that position is amazing. It shows his skill and ability. He's one of the best tactical operators I know in law enforcement. I know quite a few people doing it for 16 and a half years, and he's probably one of the best I know. we have that benefit to have that local and to have him available for anything we need. We're also sharing that benefit with every other community here in Stratford County, and that's a huge, huge thing for us. I'm proud to promote him to lieutenant, and he'll be working right beside me as my number 2, continuing to move us forward and continuing to move our officers in an appropriate and professional manner. Thank you, sir.
It's rich.
Oh, this is cute.
I think yours is broken.
There we go. Now it's the awkward kiss. I'll shake your hand too, because you're there. Yes, I got to do that. That would be important.
So, I, Evan Favor,
I, Evan Favor,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all duties
discharge and perform all duties
incumbent on me
incumbent on me
as a lieutenant of the town of Milton, New Hampshire,
of the town of Milton, New Hampshire,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeable to the rules of regulations
agreeable to the rules and regulations
of the constitutional laws of the state of New Hampshire.
of the constitutional laws of the state of New Hampshire.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Yes.
So, thank you, everyone. It's amazing that we can keep officers in this small town for 13, 16. Some of our officers have 5+ years. I think our youngest officer, Officer Clark, will be going to the academy this year, but other than Officer Clark, everybody has 3+ years. It's a benefit to our community to keep experienced officers, and the biggest benefit for our community is that all of you know who our officers are. You'll have contact with our officers either to a traffic stop or inside Cumberland Farms or one of the stores, or you may even just see them here at Town Hall. Introduce yourself, get acquainted with our officers. We like to be out, we like to know the public. The more we know you, the more you know us, the more comfortable you're going to be communicating with us and be able to work with us to be able to solve whatever issues we have in town. If I can just get a round of applause for all of our first responders. The stuff these guys have to see and deal with on a day-to-day basis is not what anyone should have to witness and have to take home with them. So it is a huge benefit to this community that we have officers who are willing to do that and willing to put their necks on the line for all of us. And none of us will hesitate when we have to run through that door. None of us will hesitate to stop whatever we have to stop. So thank you all for giving me this time tonight, and we'll see you guys out on the road. So there will be cake and coffee and water at the PD for everyone if they wanted to stop by and get a piece.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay, so up next on the agenda is we'll move down to the Wakefield Food and Pantry report. And tonight we have
Howie Knight again. I told you I'd be back.
Howie Nate from the Wakefield Food Pantry.
I told you I'd be back. So what I'm handing out is
Thank you.
the results today, starting in, roughly it was July when we first started. We had the first person come. So I wanted to go over the numbers, and maybe for the audience, and maybe for the TV, maybe it would be worth going over these verbally so you can understand what we've got here. Like I said, it started in July 5th, I think was the first recipient we had. And if you look at the numbers, you'll see that we have 17 families, totaling 57 individuals. Now, I should point out, not everyone comes every week. Some will come twice a month, some come 3 times a month. And the next thing you'll see is the under 18 is 22 of the 57. 19 to 59 is 29. We have 6 over 60. We have to do this reporting both for USDA and the New Hampshire Food Bank. Plus, it tells us a good story who we're feeding. So how many meals did we give up? Well, if you look at the next section, number of distributions, we fed 109 kids under 18, 116 between 19 and 59, and 21 over 60. That's the number of distributions. So what's the total number of meals we've given? 2,214 meals we've given out since July to residents of Milton. And I'll tell you that in October, you were the second highest city. So it's grown that much. And we're real pleased to have them all down there. And I got to give kudos to one of your businesses. They've always been very good to us, Mackenzie's Farm. But 2 weeks ago, they brought in empty bags, apple picking bags. Give these to your recipients for free apples. Just super
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
They do things like this all the time.
Yeah.
This is really nice.
Yeah.
he does the backroom stuff, so he knows what they give us. So those are the numbers, and you know, when we first was here in June, I couldn't even estimate what the number would be. But I gotta say, I'm real pleased with the numbers, and I hope it grows. You know, my guess is that 2,200 for maybe 3.5 months number of meals. We may approach 10,000 by if we did a full year. And we're more willing to do it. We've got the capacity to do it. And I got to tell you, the people that from Milton that have come down have just been really appreciative. So, so the next, I'd like to refer to the letter from me, which is I told you when I left that I'd be asking for some money. But I'm asking for $2,500 to cover non-food expense. Now, you're going to say, why your food pantry? Why do you want non-food expense? Well, ever since we started the pantry in 2004, we've always said to people in churches, you know, somebody puts $1 in an envelope, that's free meals. I'd rather have those go for meals. You pay for our insurance, electricity insurance, and have the towns pay for that. And that's what we're trying to do. Use that for our non-food expense. I actually had a call from, or email on our Facebook from the Milton resident today, asking check or gift card. Well, checks actually work better for us if anybody wants to donate. And I know there are some envelopes out, pre-addressed envelopes out there, Danielle's got. Because we buy from the New Hampshire Food Bank. We get 75 to 80% of our food from the New Hampshire Food Bank. And they get it, we get it free, we get it 18 cents a pound, or we get it wholesale. So the cash goes a lot further than the gift cards. Any questions on the numbers?
No, I mean, I'm happy that, you know, we have you as an organization that can help out the town of Milton, and I was actually looking for this. So,
well, I mean, we've got the capacity, as I mentioned, that new building. We've got the capacity, and our vision for the whole group is a hunger-free community. Now, communities to me is whoever. You know, we started with Wakefield and Brookfield. Now we've got Wakefield, Brookfield, Effingham, Newfield, Maine, and Milton. So we've got the capacity. We want to help. And Daniel has come up and visited us, and so probably overwhelmed her a little bit, but I want to turn to the next page. There's one number on there I really want to point out, and this has kind of been a surprise to us. If you look at the comparison from January 1st through September 2016 to 2017, the number of under 18 kids we're feeding is up 30%. 30% increase in the number of boys and girls that we're feeding. That's alarming. And some of it is Milton, because you saw we had 22 under 18 kids from Milton, but that just tears your heart. But we're here, we can do it, and Danielle will get one of these reports every quarter.
Okay.
We do that as a matter of course, and give you an update on any of your numbers that you want, anytime you guys would like.
Okay.
So, the last thing I want to bring up is the holidays are coming. And every year we do a Thanksgiving giveaway, a whole dinner, a basket, from A to Z. We get the turkeys free from the New Hampshire Food Bank, and then we supplement that with potatoes, squash, dessert, everything, cranberry sauce, stuff. So that will be held on, I gave a flyer to Danielle, on November 18th, between 1 and 2:30. Don't have to pre-register, just come on up. And then on the 23rd of December, we'll be doing the Christmas giveaway. That will be hams. So I want to know that because I know a lot of towns do their own thing, so I want to make sure you understood that we will be doing that. So
I think last year we was 382 people.
no, yeah, 382 people.
382 people that we made sure that they had a Thanksgiving dinner, which is, it was my first year up there, and I got to tell you something. I walked away. I didn't even need my car when I left that place. I think I was about this high off the ground. It really is special. It truly is, and the people of Milton are special. I live in Milton. So
Yeah, that's how I came down here.
that's right, because I went there originally to learn all I could about the food pantry so that we could open one here in Milton. And to be honest with you, it's very complicated. There's much more to it than just passing out, goods or whatever. So I said, I can't do it. I'm too old. So I got together with Howie and I told him what I'd still like. And he talked to the board of directors and they said,
Let's do it.
Milton can come out. So anybody that comes up from Milton, because I'm there all the time anyways, anybody that comes up, I try to go up and talk to them. Welcome them, by the way, and not, we try to make everybody feel that we want them to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
We don't want them to feel like they, are getting something or whatever. And it's different than any other food bank or food pantry that I've seen. It's more like a little grocery store. And we give them choices. And it's nice, it really is. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization.
And we do have 75 volunteers. But if any of you want to volunteer, give us a call.
Yeah.
We're always looking for more. Okay, I say 75, but we're losing a lot to Florida right now. It goes south for the winter. And the other thing that I wanted to, and I talked to Danielle about this a little bit too, I wanted to make sure everybody understood, we do home deliveries. Well, we do them in Wakefield, we do 8 of them now, but if you've got somebody that's willing to drive and pick up and you know some people, we're more willing to put blocks together and have them delivered. Because of shut-ins or elderly, whatever, so just let us know. So, any questions or?
No, I mean, I commend you for all the work you're doing here to help out these, for this organization. And we are actually looking at the outside appropriation budget. We haven't got that far yet, but I'll make sure that. What, I'm sorry?
We'll include this request.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, that's why I wrote
And,
up there. I'm on the budget committee in Wakefield, so we just did our outside
okay.
Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll get that
So,
done.
but we'll make sure
Okay. Let me know if you got any
forget.
questions, Danielle,
Sure.
or start to get all of them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Howie.
you.
Thanks so much. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
No
much for
problem.
taking the time. Nice to see you again.
Give me a call, kid.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, up next, we just have one other, we have something, Robert Nicole's water painting donation to the town clerk's office. And we just need to make a motion. It's beautiful, actually. And we could have that framed and put up somewhere out in our new lobby.
I think it's supposed to go in the town clerk's office.
Oh, town clerk?
She's clean.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
If it's okay with you, I'd like to have my husband mat it and frame it for me.
Oh, sure. Well, definitely. I mean, thank him. Yeah, that's awesome. So we just need a motion to accept that painting to the town.
Yep, I'll make a motion to accept the painting by Robert Nicholas.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay. Anyways, that's nice.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, before my next thing on the acceptance for the highway safety grant, I would ask that you move the other business that may come before the board up in front of my acceptance of the safety grants. The department heads and I would like to read a letter to the board, and I think this is the appropriate time to do it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, whereas in our opinion, Selectman Billiou has created a hostile work environment that has resulted in undue stress and anxiety among the town employees, and whereas he exhibits unprofessional, harassing, and inappropriate behavior via verbal abuse, intimidation, and bullying tactics, which has destroyed the morale of employees and forced employees to fear unjust disciplinary action, and whereas his actions have resulted in loss of experienced professional employees, as well as adversely affecting the reputation of an employee while violating New Hampshire RSA 91A, the right to know law. And whereas he has proven to make poor decisions regarding the use of taxpayer funds and has publicly divulged information that was exempt from public disclosure. And therefore we, the undersigned below, hereby formally express no confidence in the ability of Selectman Billiou to lead the town of Milton or its employees, and we respectfully request his resignation. And it's signed, Michelle Beauchamp, Town Clerk, Tax Collector, Richard Krause, Chief of Police, Nicholas Marique, Fire Chief, Pat Smith, Director of Public Works, and Elizabeth Baker, Director of the Milton Free Public Library.
Thank you. And
We're two. We're two.
thank you, Michelle, and all the department heads. And I honestly feel your pain and your suffering, and I'm truly sorry. So I would actually like to make a motion to seek resignation of Mike Beaulieu. Whereas the selectman, Michael Beaulieu, is in violation of the oath of office, we, the town officers, selectmen, take oath of the office and swear to uphold the prestige role of the town. We as a board have lost confidence in the ability of Mike Beaulieu to act impartially with integrity and leadership, capability, and to bring honor to the sworn roles of selectmen for the town of Milton and serve our residents as required to our duty. Whereas the town of Milton and Mike Beaulieu's own reputation has been compromised by Mr. Beaulieu for his non-professional and illegal actions, including violations of the 91As and RSA 42(1)A, as well as repeated violations of the 91A statute. You've acted recklessly, and you're a detriment, of this town. Known, this really upsets me, and I will continue, but it's just tough because I've known Mike for a long time, but it's unfortunate that it has to go this way. So therefore, as the Board of Selectmen finds Mike Beaulieu violated in his oath office and public trust of the state statutes, and therefore we formally request your resignation from the Board of Selectmen of the town of Milton. This will spare the town from further embarrassment for all parties. For your immediate resignation will spare the town for further hardship and embarrassment, and allow us to move forward with the true business of the town, as well as spare yourself for the personal legal costs that will incurred when the Board of Selectmen moves forward at the Superior Court level. So, could I have a second?
So I've prepared a statement also that I'd like to read. Due to Selectman Beaulieu's recent false comments and outbursts at the last Board of Selectmen budget workshop, I'm requesting him to resign immediately. His actions were inappropriate, disrespectful, and have once again opened the town to a liability. The town of Milton needs to move in a forward direction. The only way this can be accomplished is to work as a team. Selectman Beaulieu's behavior and actions over the past year have demonstrated that he has no respect for state statutes, the town of Milton, and is not willing to be a team player. Mike Beaulieu, I once again will respectfully ask you to resign from your position on the Board of Selectmen and Budget Committee immediately to save yourself and the town from any further embarrassment.
So, I want to make sure that everybody knows that, Heather is an awesome employee, and she does her job 100%. If she's not here, she's doing her job elsewhere. It could be at the fire station, it could be at the police, it could be in Concord. But Heather has shown me, and I'm sure my colleague, that she cares about Milton, and I truly want to apologize to her, and hopefully we can move forward again, and that's pretty much what I have, Heather. Okay?
I'll just add to that, I have most faith and confidence in Heather as town administrator, and been a great team player, and we will continue to work together and move the town forward.
Okay.
Chairman.
I'm sorry. Yes.
I have a petition I'd like to read.
Yeah, you could come forward.
Over the weekend, two residents got together and put a petition together. I'm going to read the petition. We got 50 signatures for 2 days. So that says a lot, I think. So it says, we the residents of the town of Milton, by the way of this signed petition, are seeking the resignation of James Michael Beaulieu from the Board of Selectmen, furthermore known as Mike. Mike has on a number of occasions violated a number of state statutes, violated the rights of several town employees and residents. This willful and blatant misconduct not only jeopardizes the sovereignty of the Board of Selectmen, it also has the potential of putting the entire town of Milton in a precarious situation and possibly being sued for such actions. Because of these actions, we the residents of the town of Milton feel that Mike is unfit to continue to serve as our selectman. We feel that Mike should step aside and allow the remaining board members to select a more fit individual to serve until the next election period. And I'd like to present this to the board.
Okay. Thank you, and I will make sure that it gets in the proper place. Does anybody else have anything to say or about this topic? Go ahead, Mr. John.
If you don't mind, I'd like to spend a few
Just-
minutes on this.
If you could just state your name, please.
John Cowick is my name. I just threw down a quick note before I come down. I'd like to read it. And I look at this as my opinion and probably a high percentage of the Milton residents. The comment that I have is, and I'm going to give you a recommendation when I'm done, is that the Board of Selectmen stated concerns on June 19, 2017 of the co-worker Mike Ballou not working as a team with facts that were made by Mike over the last few months on transparency and honesty. That was done publicly, you all know, you've heard it. Due to Mike's actions not acceptable for chairman of the Board of Selectmen, a motion was made to remove Mike Bellevue as chairman. Motion carried by all three Board of Selectmen. Mike stated that he was throwing the towel in and stated that he is not going to attack anymore. Unfortunately, my recommendation comes next. Mike team building 5 months after still is not being used by you and never was. Mike, your performance at the recent November 1st budget workshop meeting, attacking the town administrator in a public meeting, was against the law and totally unacceptable. Mike, before you caused the town of Milton being sued for your unacceptable actions, I, John Catwick, with many department heads, boards, committees, and employees recommend that you resign as Board of Selectmen for the best interest of the town of Milton. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, John. Is anybody else that wants to talk on this matter in the public? Okay.
I just want to make one comment.
Okay.
When you read that off, you made it as a motion. I think, hoping Selectman Bellevue watches this and makes his mind up and makes the right decision. And if that decision isn't made, then I think we will have to discuss going forward with that motion. But I think we need to give him the time to resign on his own.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it's unanimous that we want him to resign.
Sorry.
Brian, can you sit down?
That's because we have no speakers.
Oh.
I did the work.
That was read in the manner of a motion to go forward with pressing charges to remove him from office. Before I accept that motion, I want to give Mike the chance to do the right thing and resign on his own.
Okay.
So that's all I was stating.
And I'm fine with that. So. Okay, anybody? Sure.
I know this is difficult for everybody and all that, and I hope we all remember that how we act at these meetings and who presides at the meetings is different on how we are in private life. And I just think this is a sad thing for everybody. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a suggestion that you do second the motion with a time window on it, so that the process is cut in stone. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. Right now, the way it sits, there's no guarantee that this is going to go forward. With a second and a vote of you two saying yes, with a window saying he must resign in a certain time period, then everyone here and other people watching know what the end results will be.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
We need to consult with legal counsel.
Yeah, why don't you, just to make it so
I'm not sure to do that because I really feel like I
Okay.
need to stay neutral.
all right. No, I'll take that under advisement, Stan, and we'll look into it. So, anybody else? Okay.
unfortunately, before we move on from this subject, I'd like to make a motion that either you or I, from this point forward, is going to do the signing of the checks.
Yeah, no, I
don't really have a problem whether it's you or I just think we need to change that due to the unfortunate circumstances we are in right now.
okay. If you want to make the motion, I signed them tonight. I mean, if you want to make that motion,
So
I don't mind.
I'll make a motion that at this point going forward, we will sign all the checks for the Board of Selectmen.
Okay, I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye. Do we need to make a motion to remove him from signing checks, or is that?
I think you probably should.
Okay, I'll
If
make a
that's what your
motion
intent is, yeah.
to remove Mike Carroll from signing the checks every week.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Mr. Chair?
yes.
Just a point of clarification. Was the first motion that you made ever officially withdrawn and voted on to withdraw it?
No, seconded.
Oh,
There was no second?
yeah, there was no, Ryan didn't second it.
Absolutely Okay.
seconded, the motion dies.
Okay. I just wanted to
Yeah,
clarify where it was at, because normally you don't have a discussion until there's a second on the floor. So
right,
I just wanted to clarify where we're at with that for the record.
okay,
Trying not to speak on this.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was no second anyways.
Usually-
Ryan never seconded it.
You usually have to have a second for discussion, but I'm trying to stay neutral on this. For
Okay.
obvious reasons.
Thank you. So, up next, we have the acceptance of the highway safety grant.
So we received the STEP grant, which is the speed distracted driving. New Hampshire has joined in with the federal government for the Join the Click, which is click it or ticket in most states. New Hampshire doesn't have a must-wear seatbelt law for anyone over the age of 18. So in New Hampshire, we call it Join the Click. We are looking for adults who are driving around with children who are unseatbelted, things like that, or are in inappropriate seats for the children of their age. The Safe Commute is during commute hours, we send officers out on overtime that's their sole job, is to look for inappropriate drivers, people driving recklessly, inappropriately during the commute hours on set days that are decided by the state of New Hampshire. And on the STEP grant, it is we can patrol any road in the community and try to send extra officers to those areas through the grant, not through town funds, to be able to attack whatever we have for problems, speeding areas, school bus issues, things like that. We've had these grants for about the last 12 years. For that grant this year, we received $6,489.18. And then the DWI Patrol grant, which we've also received for about 12 or 13 years now. That grant allows us to have extra officers on the street whose only responsibility is to look for impaired or inappropriate drivers from the hours of 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., which are statistically shown to have the largest amount of impaired drivers on our roads. For that grant this year, we received $3,675. So if the board is acceptable to accepting these grants, that'll allow us over the next year to put extra officers on the road during different times to attack those problems that we have in our community and try to decrease the number of crashes we have in our areas.
Yeah, well, I'm fine with it, and thanks for all your hard work on giving these grants.
So I just need a motion for the chairman to sign the grants.
I'll make a motion for the chairman to sign the grant.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to leave.
You get a
So,
second.
I'll second it. All in favor, aye.
so I need you to sign and print there. Then I'm going to leave these with Heather because I'll have to initial at the bottom of every page. Sign and print.
Thank you so much.
He needs to initial on every single page.
Okay,
And then tomorrow I'll pick them up from you so I can get them sworn to by Michelle.
thank you.
Thanks.
So up next is the L Chip Stewardship Agreement.
Just need you to
Oh, is she getting the agreement?
I've got the agreement, she's getting the notary stamp.
Oh,
It's my dad's first. Just need your motion to accept it.
okay.
I looked at it, I'm all set with it. Are you?
Yeah, no, of course,
I
yeah.
just need to notarize it.
So
You can go get it.
I'll make a motion to accept it and have the chair sign.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. You guys want to sign it or sign it and I'll notarize it?
Well, I made a motion for you to sign, so I think.
No.
Right, there's just
I
one
got to
vote.
notarize it, see, I'm the witness.
Okay. Thank you.
Poor thing.
Yeah, we don't have minutes. We do it. Let's put that one.
It's fine.
Okay. We'll take care of it.
So up next on the agenda is discussion of a complaint, RSA 236:112.
All right, so Chair, this is about 272 White Mountain Highway in Milton, New Hampshire, which is my address, so I'm going to recuse myself from this conversation. The board members, but I can't help that.
So a complaint form was submitted to this office regarding the property located 272 Mountain Highway for having numerous unregistered vehicles on the property. The complaint cited RSA 236:112 for an illegal junkyard with 2 or more vehicles. The property and its vehicles fall under RSA 236:111-A, scope of sections 3. So in the so what's
Could I
that?
just request that the original complaint be read off?
Okay. I'll read the complaint itself. Please look into 272 White Mountain Highway for an illegal auto junkyard, for there are numerous vehicles in the driveway, on the lawn, and along the tree line. This is an eyesore, and I believe it is in violation to RSA 236:112 of having 2 or more unregistered vehicles constitutes an illegal junkyard.
But then if,
What's that?
but then if you go back,
Yeah.
it doesn't because
Can you read who made the complaint?
I mean, is that
Public knowledge.
okay? It was, so I guess it's public knowledge. I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm right here. So Tom Gray at 316 White Mountain Highway. He's a neighbor. So we did have Brian Boyers look into this. He did go down there, and the provision of this subdivision shall not apply to any non-commercial antique motor vehicles restoration activity involving antique motor vehicles over 25 years old, where the owner or leasee demonstrates that each one of the following requirements are met. All antique motor vehicles kept on the premises are owned by the property owner. All antique motor vehicles, part of the antique motor vehicles, are kept out of the view of public and the abutters by means of storage inside permanent structures or by suitable fencing which accompanies with the fencing requirements under RSA 236:123, or by trees, shrubbery, or sufficient to block the visual access year-round. Any combination of the antique motor vehicles or parts or antique motor vehicles that are not stored inside a permanent structure shall otherwise comply with the requirements of this section and shall not exceed a total amount of 5 vehicles. For the purpose of this section, the sum of parts, antique motor vehicles, and the equals in bulk to 1 antique motor vehicle shall be counted as 1 antique motor vehicle. A lot of antique motor vehicles. All mechanical repairs and modifications are performed out of the view of the public and the abutters, and no more than one unregistered, uninspected motor vehicle that is not over 25 years old shall be kept on the premises. So, like I said, Brian did go down and look at it, and he found that there was no grounds for, you know, for any concern. So,
Can I follow up on this?
sure.
Brian, we'll be looking around town then to see if there's any other junkyards.
Can't hear you, sweetie, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Brian will be looking around town to make sure there's other areas in town for other junkyards, because this issue will not be dropped, but he was satisfied
Yeah.
after inspecting this one.
Yeah. I mean, this RSA has a lot to do with the antique part of having cars. But there is, unfortunately, there is some situations in town where they're not antiques, and we will be looking into it. So, go ahead, Larry.
Larry Brown. I think, if I remember correctly, I didn't know there was going to be a quiz, that the RSAs also point out that vehicles before the year, I believe, 1950 are no longer inspected because this inspection stations no longer have the capacity to deal with the earlier vehicles. You can check the year on that. I believe that the RSA also speaks to the comment that the vehicles are or are intended to be operable on the public highway. And that is another point in favor of the hobbyist.
Okay. Thank you, Larry. I'll take that under advisement. Okay. So that's what we got on that complaint. Do you have anything else?
I just wanted to say that the individual who this was filed about wanted to make sure we followed all rules and regulations for total transparency. So that's why.
Okay. No problem. Thank you. All right. Come back up. So up next is make a motion for the minutes. Approval of the minutes, I should say. I have read them. Brian.
All right. You have some mechanical markups, okay?
She's our
I was going to a little later. Sorry.
Stay nice.
I am. It's a teacher in me.
So I'll make a motion to approve the October 16, 2017 Board of Selectmen meeting minutes as amended with the grammatical changes in there.
Okay, I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll get you the signature and the signature box.
Yeah.
Okay.
You good with the workshop?
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the October 23rd budget workshop minutes.
Okay, I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And that was the only two.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, up next, the expenditure report.
Okay. Is there any real questions on it as we go through it? I guess the first thing.
No,
We keep getting closer and closer. Vanessa is working incredibly hard at making sure things are taken care of.
Heather.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm trying. We do have a work order in for Mike's. The Vanessa's working hard, and all the departments are working hard to get or make sure our expenditure reports are correct. There are still some adjustments that are being made. We keep making adjustments. We're finding things 6 months without a bookkeeper where people were filling in was a challenge, and I think that we're still working through those areas. But as we find the areas, we're making adjustments and going through them and trying to make sure that the reports are accurate to the best of our ability.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Ryan,
I
on
don't
the
at the moment. I
expenditure
think
report?
we've, pretty much as we've been going through the budgets, have hit on a lot of things about the expenditure report. So
Yeah.
I know it's a work in progress, and as long as we keep moving forward, we're doing all right.
Yes, I totally agree.
Hopefully.
Okay, so up next, we have administrative comments.
Okay. Well, I had the opportunity since we had the police awards tonight, I just wanted to comment. I had the opportunity to attend the police award night in Concord, and it was impressive to see our officers recognized. It was a very nice ceremony. I have to say this is the second time that I was able to attend in 2 years, and it's very rare that you see your own little town recognized. And I had to wonder why, so I started to talk to some other town administrators as to why our police department was recognized more often, and I think it speaks to our officers, of course, but it also speaks to our chief of police, because he puts our officers in for that. And he said how he was amazed tonight, and I was thinking here while he was talking, and I think it speaks to his leadership of his officers and his little team. So I think we're very lucky to have such a strong chief of police and a strong fire chief. They're both their leadership. All our departments have leadership. It's exemplary, and we're very lucky here in the town of Milton to have that. That is exceptional. It's unique, and it really speaks to the town and the commitment we have here. So it is an honor to work with our department heads, and I want to say thank you to them, but that's what makes Milton unique. We're getting closer to being able to set the tax rate. We're hoping we can get it done soon this week. Everything is in. So that's kind of where we are. So that's where we are with that. I also want to say thank you to a lot of people this week. It's been a difficult week. And I really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Okay. All right, are you all set? Okay, thank you. All right, so up next we have Selectmen's comments. Brian?
All right, I just want to say this meeting's probably been one of the most difficult meetings I've been to since I've been coming to the selectmen meetings, and certainly since I've been sitting on the board. It's been a very difficult week, especially for town hall. Overall, it's been a difficult week for the whole town. I'm hoping that we can move forward in the very near future, and the individual in question will make the right decision, which is in the best interest of the town. I think what we saw tonight is really what type of teamwork we really have here with the town employees, with what everybody witnessed here tonight. I think that's really making a loud statement between the town employees and also the residents of Milton. We have a great community, and we need to keep moving forward. We need to keep working as a team, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I just can't say enough of how I don't even know what to say, how impressed I am, and how nice it's to see so many people come out and stand up for what's right and what's for the best interest of the town. And I'll say once again, I have the utmost confidence and faith in our town administrator, and we just need to keep moving forward and need to do it as a team.
Okay. And did you want to mention this, Ryan, or on the
You want to do that under business, or?
No, you can do it under. You can do
Okay,
it
so
under.
I happen to be at town hall registering a dog, and the conservation committee was having a meeting, and they pulled me in. So they are looking to do a trail party and like a guided walk on the Casey Road property. So they asked me to bring this to the board to see, just to give our blessing, and also check with the police chief and fire department, even public works, if they have any concerns with them having a guided work on Casey Road on Saturday, December 2nd. They're planning on just parking cars along the side of the road. I don't know if Pat or Nick, you have any?
No, we talked about it. I don't have any. As long as they don't block driveways and keep it open.
I spoke to Cross about it earlier, and he didn't have any concerns as long as they were parking on the sides of the road. So,
yeah,
I just want your thoughts on it, and they also wanted to make sure, are we good with them putting the Board of Selectmen and the Conservation Committee? I'm okay with it.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean,
this was just a draft.
Yeah.
They wanted us
to
take a look at it. I'm good with it.
Right. Yeah, no, somehow this, I normally sit in on these meetings. Somehow this meeting got by me for some reason, and I apologize. No, I normally am there. But no, this is, like Ryan said, it's a guided walk for the new town land on Casey Road. And, when this project is going to be done, when it is done, it's going to be a great asset to the town of Milton. So they're working on it, and we're hopefully moving forward. And by the beginning of the year, I think you'll see a lot of changes down there, or spring, anyways. But it's going to be a great project. So
this is just a draft. I'm sure once everything's finalized, we'll definitely put the word out there again.
Yeah, and once it's finalized, we can put this on our website, and I'm sure it'll be all over. Yeah, I see you, Peg. I see you over there. But yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, no, I'm sure I see you. So, yeah, great. Go ahead,
You're
Peg.
recognizing
I am
me
going
now?
to recognize
Okay.
you.
Oh, Peg Hurd.
Okay.
While you're on the topic of Casey Road and the guided tour, they are also having a couple of guided tours for the teachers, administration, and then some teachers. So there'll be the high school and then the elementary, because we're really looking into developing it and having it as an educational outreach for the kids. So, and the one question the school board had, porta potties. And they were supposed to, or somebody's supposed to come to the selectmen to find out, who would like to pay for porta potty out there. It's taking middle school and high school kids out.
Yeah, I mean, when we,
not the best age to have the kids going out into the woods and doing their business.
right. Yeah, no, when we get to that point, we'll discuss it.
Yeah,
we're a little bit a ways from there, so but we'll definitely we'll talk about that.
But we're definitely excited about it too. So.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. So I'm happy for that project. Anybody else have anything on that project they want to? No? Okay. So are you all set, Ryan, with your comments?
Yep.
Okay. So I just want to say it has been a difficult week, and I value each and every one of our employees. As a taxpayer, as a chair on the Board of Selectmen, I can't thank the employees of this town enough, because it seems like we always get through with what we need to get through with, and the employees make it very easy for us to shine, and at the end of the day, I really worry about nothing here. I mean, they just do it, and Pat's out plowing the roads. The chief and his men and women are protecting us, and the fire chief and his guys and girls are down at the fire station, unfortunately waiting for fire calls. I mean, it's wonderful to live in a small community like this, and to be able to go to bed at night feeling that you're in a safe safe environment, and so I just can't thank each employee, each and every one of the employees enough. And I also want to thank Heather for everything she does for the town. She's here. She was, I don't know what time she was here today. I'm sure it was early, and here it is going on 7 o'clock, probably 12, 13 hours. So, you know, she puts in long days, and, you know, it means a lot. It means a lot to us. So, I just want to thank you. Keep up your good work. So, but other than that, I think that's really all I have tonight, and yeah, that's it. So on to public comments. Here we go. Mr. Gray had his hand up first.
Yeah, no, I just want to bring this up. John had mentioned this a few meetings back about Jones Brook Park. And about what we do at Jones Brook. I understand we can't remove the barriers because of all the trash that we put down before. But in the back end of that park, there's a plaque that recognizes all the people who put all the hard work and everything into it. And Leo Lasard, and the only reason I've seen it years past, just totally on my head. And just before Leo's service, I was asked to say a few words. And then I popped back in my head, so I went and got a picture of it to speak about it after the service. And I just think the board, I'd like to ask the board to get that plaque out, you know, restore it, put it where it's not going to be deteriorated. The posts are rotten, they're falling over, and it's not going to be long before it's not going to be there anymore.
Okay.
So I'd like to see that saved.
Yeah, most definitely. And
can I just make one comment on that?
Sure.
So actually, when I was at the Conservation Committee meeting, I mentioned that park, and they took a note and put it on their radar. So
okay,
I think that's maybe something we could work together with too.
And we could always ask Pat if he could maybe get the sign out, and it looks like it just needs to be cleaned up. You know. Oh, go ahead, John.
I'll volunteer to take it down and bring it to the town highway department.
Okay, thank you. See what I'm talking about? A small knit community. I mean, all these people. Thank you, John. For real.
Let me know if I can help.
Okay. So, John will bring the sign over to the highway department, and we'll take a look at it, Pat, and see what you put your love into it.
It's in good shape, except for the post is rotten. I have pictures I can send you if you want to see them.
Okay. Yeah. Tom showed me, but yeah, I know. I appreciate that. So, Mr. Graham?
I just want to remind everybody that Saturday, 11 o'clock is Veterans Day ceremony at the Veterans Park. The last time I talked to Mike, he was going to have all of the people that have donated time and materials and money at the park to thank him. So I don't know where that stands now. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can. I'll get together with Heather. I know pretty much. You know, the people who you know did all the work down there in the last couple of weeks, and we'll look into that.
Pat knows too.
And Pat knows too. Pat Smith knows. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bob. Chip.
Hi, I'm Chip Garris on Rocky Point Road. I was there at boat Sunday, and I heard some gunfire out behind my house. It's the area where it's this board as well as the water precinct board voted to no hunting. And some of the areas are posted, but some of it isn't. I wonder if Pat could get one of the guys to walk through it again and make sure the signs are up. I don't know if they're coming from Micah Terrace or the trailer park, but you know, this board decided years ago that you can't shoot a gun over there without shooting at a house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a small area, and
sure.
And I'm just you know, wrapping a boat and I don't need to get shot.
Right, okay. Thanks, Chip. I'll have Heather make a work order out for the highway to just to go out and check that out.
Want to repost it again?
Sure, yeah, if you don't mind.
The posting's pretty good on Rocky Point still, but I don't know about the rest of the area back
Did the
there.
whole thing.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Somebody
Okay.
was back there, I could hear them back there, and I heard a couple of shots go off.
Okay.
You know, those deer back there are tame deer. You know, they're not- don't consider, if you're shooting one of them, don't consider yourself a big woodsman. Don't get out of your hand. You guys can come in the car and drive them home. One other question.
Sure.
The electric up on the town landfill up there.
Mm-hmm.
We were told a lot of things several years ago, and I think I came to talk to this board about it one time. What revenue has actually the town received from that on an annual basis?
Right, yeah, and we're working on that.
Because we've had a couple of years now of
Yeah.
results.
Yep. And we're working on that with the solar array folks, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have, you know, an answer for you right now, but as soon as we do, I'll certainly let you know.
I mean, there should be a financial transaction somewhere where you can say, yeah, here's a bill and here's a check.
Yeah. Like I said, we're working with them right now. It hasn't been as easy as we thought it was going to be, but like I said, as soon as we find out, we'll let you know.
How are we going to verify that they told you the truth? That was one of my questions, I believe, several years ago, when you were having the discussions about doing that.
Well, we have a contract with them. And what's that?
Exactly.
Well, one would think they would have to, you know, hold themselves, you know, to the contract. Like I said, we are working with the chip, and as soon as I get a definite answer on the solar garden, it's been...
You'll let me know when you have the answer, and then I can get that answer?
You're the first guy I'm going to let know.
That's great.
They may be coming before the board.
Yeah, they may be coming before the board. We've asked them to come before the board. So as soon as we get that date, it's just been kind of, you know, with all the budgets and stuff.
But
But
from the way that it was presented, we had to be rolling in the cash.
yeah, what's that?
I said the way it was presented, we had to be rolling in the cash.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think everything will turn out just the way it was presented. It's just we need to get them in here in front of us. So, and we're working on that.
Okay.
So, but thank you. Okay, anybody else? I know our own, very own Larry Brown is.
Larry Brown. I happen to be part of that original group. They needed a few more people to get to their net a kilowatt charge, I'll call it. So I think it was the end of this year that something was going to happen. So if I get my 37 cents, you'll see me down at Dunkin' Donuts buying the expensive stuff. But what I wanted to do was switch gears slightly, go back to a time, Bob Graham will understand, when every about May 19th, at the southeast corner of the Legislative Office Building, there are a series of granite slabs in the ground in the shape of a star, and there is a bronze basket of flame, and it is the memorial to fallen officers in the state of New Hampshire. There are several columns there, names incised, and it's one of those things where you think of the death and violence in Nevada, Virginia, Florida, Texas, and I started thinking about what Chief Krause said. When you walk through the door, you don't know what you're going to hit, but you know you will walk through that door, and all of the names on those columns are people who walked through that door. And the terrible thing about that monument is there is space for more names. So when our officers drive past, keep that in mind. That's all.
Most definitely. Thank you, Larry. Chief?
I just wanted to thank the Highway Department and Police Department for helping us out during the storm. We were running from 11:30 till 5 o'clock the next night. And without those guys chasing us with chainsaws and keeping the roads open, it would have made the job a lot more difficult. And thank all the residents for their patience. I know the roads were shut down much longer than I was comfortable with, but we did everything we could, called all the right people. It's just they were completely overwhelmed. And FEMA will actually be in town tomorrow to do the preliminary damage assessment with us. So hopefully we'll get some reimbursement back for our time.
Very good. Yeah, thank you.
It's always more lucrative than we actually have into it. So
yeah, yeah. Thank you very much for all your hard work on that storm. It was a tough one. So, yeah.
We need to thank Chief Marie too for always being available.
Yes, most definitely.
I mean, even like last night, there was something going on, and I need to get a hold of something because the two of you may have a question, and I can't get someone else. I can text him in all hours, and he always answers. So thank you. Even if it's 10, 11 o'clock at night or 6 a.m. And then I bother you. So thank you.
Yep, no, I appreciate it. Peg Heard?
Hi, Peg Heard. One of the things Bob, brought this to my attention. The Rochester Middle School always has a veteran celebration, and it's this coming Wednesday at the middle school. It starts at 1, but what we do is about 12:30. Have the bagpiper do the procession going into the gymnasium. It's absolutely incredible. This is our 9th year, and even though I retired from the middle school, I'm still there every single year. And I know you have a meeting, or maybe you did have a meeting, but I gave Doug Shute the actual announcements. But I would love to see some veterans from Milton come down too. So anyway, Rochester Middle School, there is a bus that will pick people up at Cole's parking lot because parking is limited at the middle school. So, and that starts about 12 o'clock. So you're all invited, anybody. We'd love to see you.
Okay. Anybody else? Betsy?
I'm prepared to give my budget tonight.
Okay.
Are
you all
Do you
set?
have copies?
Are you?
I'm sorry?
I'm good. I don't have my copy of it with me, but I'm okay to go through it if you want.
Yeah, I'm good to go through it.
I gave you packets. We had a week and a half of it.
Yeah, I have them, but I left them at my
Danielle's gonna run and get them.
Yeah.
Danielle can run and get them. If anybody wants to see this.
Is there any other public comments before we go over Betsy's budget?
Yeah.
Everybody else set? I'm sorry? Oh, yes, definitely.
Welcome home.
Welcome home, yeah.
Including that number, anything that the town has spent on that.
Yeah.
Whether it's hours. that we
Right,
spent on
okay,
it,
thank you, Lester.
dollars or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'll get back to you. We are, transparency is everything. And we're working on that. And we'll get through it and things will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew.
All right, have a good night, Peg.
Thank you. All right, my envelope.
Transfer station.
I came close to the stuff and he's doing. I'm like, well, it's not on the agenda. And I took it out and I set it on the table.
I know, but if you wait till Wednesday, it'll be 7:30 before you
No, I don't mind doing it at all.
Okay.
Thank you, Maureen, for coming. Yes.
Can I sign in? I guess I should sign in, right? So budget committee? Hey.
I don't belong to that, I'm sorry.
Actually, question for you. Yeah, mine's just slack too. Secretaries for budget committee. Did you have anybody apply?
I'll try to say the right thing.
You too.
Thanks, Lauren.
You good back there, Bob?
Thanks, Fred.
Has anything to do with budget?
All the fields look wonderful. Thanks for all your hard
Beach
work.
field still.
Travel well, stay out of the rain and fit on fire. What's that?
Yeah, we have
Feed 'em up on
a
salt.
work order in
They'll,
that.
the deer,
So-
feed them up on salt. They'll
Yeah.
collapse.
You hold some clout with him. He'll, yeah.
Do they?
No, I know. We'll take we'll get it.
All right.
Do deer like chocolate?
They're like anything.
Travel well.
Don't give them the chocolate in your wife's studio.
Thank you, Danielle.
I'm sorry, man.
The incident was brought against the foundation.
Oh,
Suzanne was beating on the glass.
You want to sell a couple of rounds?
You don't want to go with
All right,
one
we wanna-
to me.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to with your Heather.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess she reads the first line.
Okay. I know Sean's-
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll be there.
All right, Heather, we're up for this library budget.
I'm coming.
Whatever you need, that is.
All right.
Thanks.
You didn't sign what I
Thanks,
told
Bob.
you to sign. I will be as quick as possible.
Oh, no worries.
I want to preface my presentation with two comments. And the first one is, I couldn't have done this without the work that Kat has done to get a new cleaner in and also to get a really good oil contract in place. And you'll see that I've managed to cut my budget tremendously. My second comment is, although this is the second year that I have managed to show an increase in salaries and decrease my overall budget, I'm very concerned that in years to come, we won't be able to hold that, either in the library or any of the other departments. They've been really good about holding their budgets, but occasionally we have things that come up and prices go up.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to bring that up there.
Yeah.
And so, part-time salary.
We'll read it off. The part-time salary request is $29,000. Oh, I'm sorry, Larry Brown, library trustee. Part-time salary request of $29,786. It represents $1,104 increase over last budget. This has in place the potential for the cost of living adjustment and a performance-based merit increase as determined by the director.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking across the board for all the town departments, whenever you hear a COLA and 2% merit increase, it is merit based on performance. It is not a reward for not dying. And so again, just hammer that for everything. It includes Betsy as the library director, 3 library assistants, and 2 pages. And this is a phrase that every other department can use very, very much across the board. It represents the retention of capable and trained employees. You heard Chief Kraus speaking to that this evening, that you keep a small and community face of employment. You reward people for performance, and none of us are getting rich that fast. And one of the things you sell is courtesy. And I think that's an important part of any budget put together by any of the departments. And it's tied to the expansion of library services, and the library serves multiple community needs. And back to you.
Thank you. And I will just say that I have a terrific staff as well that works very hard for a limited hourly rate, but they do it because they love the job. So line 220 is the FICA line based on the 2% potential merit and the 1.7 COLA, and 225 is the Medicare line for that as well. 340 is contracted services. It will remain level funded at 3,200. That contracted service line is used for the website hosting and builder, the library online catalog, the easy cataloging feature, the New Hampshire downloadable book consortium, the fire alarm, and our panic button. This year, you'll note that it's already overspent, but we had some. I had 2 bid notices go out that I put in that line, and the downloadable book consortium is actually going down, so it will be right at the mark next year.
Okay.
The line 350, and you may want to put in $1 here, is the custodial service line. As noted before, Pat gets all the credit for this. We have one custodian who comes in once every 2 weeks for an hour, maybe 2, with a full-time custodian for the buildings and ground staff. She will actually be in the building more and doing things like keeping the salt and sand off the stairs, which will help eliminate some of the floor maintenance that we will probably see soon. Did you want?
Oh, you should keep the line open. $1.
Okay, yeah, $1 is fine.
Okay. The electric request for 10 is $1,500, which is a decrease from 2017. Although electricity rates are rising again, I still think that based on what I've been spending, that I would be fine with that amount.
Yeah, I just have a question about your electricity, because I don't want you to cut yourself short. You've already spent $1,300 this year, and you know you have such a tight budget, Betsy. You've already spent almost $1,300, and we still have a couple months left. What's that?
We're going to get 3 more bills.
We're going to get 3 more bills.
Yeah, I have 747 remaining this year, but.
Yeah, but that's because it's $2,000.
Okay, what would you suggest for a number?
I would suggest you leave it at $2,000.
Okay.
Because what your light bill runs there, what? Couple $100 a month, or $150, or?
For just a minute here. For the bill that was paid in October was $79.
$79.
Obviously, in summertime it raises because we have 2 beasts of air conditioners which we use, and then in the winter time it's a little bit more with the light.
I mean, even if you did $1,800, what's that?
I think that's.
1,800 or even the 2,000 wouldn't hurt because the rates are supposed to go up.
Yeah.
Going up, so I think 2,000.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at 2,000,
Okay.
Betsy.
All right. The heat, I've decreased $2,000 to $3,500 based on last year's usage and the contracted rate. And this is one of those items that I was mentioning may fluctuate. Pat received a great contracted rate this year, but next year may be something totally different.
He did get a good rate this year.
Mm. You use, year to date, you use $2,200 almost.
We negotiated that. I mean, there's a lower rate
Yeah.
cost, so I think that's...
Okay, if you feel comfortable with that, we can leave it. I mean, I appreciate you trying to, you know, keep a tight budget. I just don't want you to come shortfall at the, you know, end of the year. But if that's what you feel comfortable with, then we'll leave it.
450 is, I'm leaving the telephone request the same. We have 2 lines, one dedicated for our fire alarm and one for our fax and telephone. And I believe that that line is what it is. It's going to be spent. 620 is our office office supply line, and I'm leaving that level funded at 2,000. And that's craft supplies, event food, toilet paper, paper towels, that kind of thing. Postage is line 620. Is an increase of $80 over last year's budget. I was informed by the Milton Mills postmistress that we could receive mail. They do have delivery in town, and that $80 is for a post office box. Because our hours are so erratic, it wouldn't make sense to have delivery at the library. They would miss us part of the time.
Okay.
630 is our program supplies, which are the media, the books, magazines, CDs, DVDs, courses, what have you. It's level funded at 8,800, and I know you're going to look at that number and say, well, you haven't spent that much yet. I put in 2 book orders a month. Most of the authors that are well known, their publishing dates are in October and November, so they haven't been reflected yet. Technology is level funded for $75. Wait a minute, 741 equipment purchases. I decreased this line again. I use it for books, chairs, rugs, racks, etc. I will be using some of it. I haven't yet, or I just did this month. But this is another line that, although I haven't been using it very much, in a couple of years I'll probably need to use it more. 744 is our technology line, $75. This is level funded from last year, and this is for hardware and software outside of the computer programs. And once again, I buy the technology in December. Mileage and travel is level funded. I am going over on mileage this year because I went to a conference in West Lebanon. I don't anticipate going to West Lebanon next year. The conferences are held in different locations, but yeah,
they vary around the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever want to use the town car too, you're welcome to that. Just throwing it out there.
But wasn't that one overnight or something, or?
Well, no, I don't do the overnight conferences, but the West Lebanon one, I'll tell you, I left at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I wasn't back till after 5, so I would have to take it overnight.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, well, just, the offer is there, of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Line 890 is a miscellaneous line. I put that at $1. I had it at $50 for a number of years. And I was using that line for background checks. And that's a leap of faith that I am going to retain my staff and not have to do a background check.
Well, it tells a lot about what type of person you are, Betsy, so.
Speaks to your leadership.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, what did we do? We changed 2,000 and what? So we'll add 2,000. No,
$500.
$501. So you want to
Yeah.
add $501 to that figure.
So 53,476.
Yep.
Which the decrease isn't quite as much, but it's still a decrease over last year's.
Okay.
There you go. You're comfortable with bringing it down?
With that, yes, thank you. But, you know, like I said, maybe next year I'll say, remember that 3,500 you know, that's right. One of the things that I have been planning on doing, all of our, the circulation computer and our patron computers are not ancient, but they are getting older, and I am planning on replacing them one year at a time, if possible, and those will add into the budget.
Okay. All right.
So you good with this? I'll make a motion to accept
Yeah,
it.
yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the Milton Free Public Library budget of $53,476.
I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I just want to thank Betsy for all your hard work and the trustees of the library.
And while Betsy is a captive, what isn't showing up here is the fruits of her contact with different libraries. What we get back for the New Hampshire Library Association dues and materials they send, the use of grants for children's program to draw people into the library, the use of the interlibrary loan, the use of e-books, and just one more heads up. We have $8,000 for books and media. And if you just do my famous simple math, you can buy 400 books at $20 each. You can buy 200 books at $40 each. The library tends to buy books which have library bindings. They're more durable. They hold up well when they're lent out. And I just think that it is amazing that Milton, as a small place, just has such enthusiasm for its library. And shameless advertising, the Friends of the Library have available for $6 and $6 only while supplies last, a beautiful red. The first cup is on the library. It comes with chocolate inside. After you pay your $6, you can add any other beverage you want. And that is available for pickup at the Milton Free Public Library, located at
13 Main Street, Milton Mills.
13 Main Street, Milton Mills, New Hampshire. Thank you.
Very good, Larry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for all your hard work, Betsy. It doesn't go unnoticed, by all means.
Thank you, Betsy. Betsy.
Yeah, you missed it, but I like Joshua.
Yes, we have one question, Betsy, from the administrator.
Yes.
Betsy, I just wanted to ask, in terms of benefits for employees, if they're not residents, are they able to get a library card?
Absolutely.
Okay. We should put that in our employee manual, just thinking.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn?
No, we're gonna go into.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
I just gonna give this to Larry.
Yeah, I'll just make, yeah, we're gonna go into, I'll make a motion to go in non-public 91A 32C.
Betsy?
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, aye.